How to break Arsenal's compact defense. Let's start with a sequence. Here the left center midfielder is marking the right winger in the half space, while the right center midfielder is marking the attacking midfielder. The third midfielder or the attacking midfielder is marking the center midfielder. So as of now, three midfielders are engaged. If you look at Arsenal's structure, it's a typical 4-4-2. This structure is allowing two free players between the lines. So can they defend these two players? Here the center midfielder is blocking the access to the free player who is closer to the ball. But the left winger is free as there is no one tasked with marking him. So it's a potential loophole which can be exploited. But how can a team create this 3 versus 2 situation? The idea is to deploy an extra attacker. Here the two midfielders who are supposed to protect these central zones are engaged with their own duties. Here opposition has created that extra attacker by pushing a left winger into the central regions. So if we can somehow create a third midfield option, Arsenal's double pivot will be numerically overloaded. But this may not work if that free player is a center midfielder, as an attacking midfielder will probably mark him. It's because in an orthodox system, every team will try to mark opposition midfielders. But when a left winger comes into play, it's not a normal situation that they prepare for. So they may leave him free as they are engaged in their own responsibilities. So the whole point is to use an unconventional method to create that free player. Now the left winger is totally free, and if we can get the ball, there are two potential progression options to attack the backline. However, he has to beat Subimendi to progress further, and it is a question of technical capability. But still, from a tactical point of view, it's a potential loophole we can observe in any system. If it's a proper winger who is good at dribbling, he can easily beat Subimendi in this case. Here the ball was played back, but again it has opened another loophole. Now two center midfielders are marking attacking midfielder and the left winger, and this made the right winger free in between the lines. We had a similar situation a few seconds ago. Then it was left winger free as Rice and Subimendi was marking two others. So the idea is to create that extra third man in the midfield. It's a common idea used by many teams, and if it's done constantly, Arsenal's midfield can be unlocked. You also have to prevent the other midfielder, which will be an attacking midfielder, from helping the double pivot. Now the idea is to create that dilemma using the players between the lines. Here Subimendi is concerned about the attacking midfielder. Rice has to stop the ball carrier and also cover the passing lane to the right winger behind him. The ball carrier has to just use his carrying abilities to exploit this dilemma. Now the midfield line is bypassed and the free player is found. Then you have to make sure the back line is pinned back. Here the striker can pin two centre backs and the winger can pin the full back. In an ideal situation, he can turn and attack the back line. But still, some might argue that this won't happen every time. But if it was a AAA player, he would definitely attack the back line. A few seconds later, a dribbler actually attempted it and entered the penalty area. So everything is possible and there is no so-called perfect defense. For Arsenal, what stands out is their willingness to get back and protect dangerous areas. But still there are potential loopholes seen in any team. For example, the distance between the centre back and full back is a major vulnerability in any defense. A simple white triangle is enough to exploit this vulnerability. But again, the attacker should get his technical basics done. Just imagine if this was played straight to his left foot. Alvarez could have quickly entered the penalty area and attempt a shot on goal. For me, Arsenal is having a good defensive record, not due to some genius tactic or something else. Rather, the defenders are doing good in crucial situations. So the general idea is to create situations where you can overload their two-man midfield. The forward line should contribute by pinning their aggressive centre backs. This will bypass their midfield line, and now the attackers should exploit this temporary panic using their dribbling skills or combination plays. However, it's a fact that Arsenal has a narrow edge by playing a double pivot of Rice and Subimendi. Both have played roles similar to a defensive midfielder in their career, and this makes their midfield defensively decent. But still, I think teams will look to exploit their double pivot system, and a quality attacker will beat their defenders at some point of time.